Welcome back. Today we are talking about solving multiple step inequalities, which means two or more steps. We started off with just one step where we either added opposites, we multiplied by the number, or we divided by a number, had our answer and graphed it. We are now going to be working with where there's two or more steps. So remember, everything stays the same, just like we were solving equations, what we did like for a month. Everything stays the same. The only thing we have to remember, if we multiply or divide by a negative number, flip the inequality. Okay? Remember, we have to flip it. Only if we're multiplying or dividing by a negative. So, we're going to go over 6 practice problems because they're very similar to what we've already been doing. So looking at number 1, again, remember, we're trying to isolate this t value. First of all, we want to add the opposites. Because we're adding something to the 4t, we want to add the opposite. So, -9 and -9 to both sides. This cancels out. We have 4t greater than 12. Now, just like we had before, the 4 is multiplying the t. To do the opposite, we have to divide by 4. Divide by 4 both sides. And we end up with t is greater than 3. We don't have to flip anything because we divided by a positive number. Don't have to flip it. So now when we graph it, we see the t's on the left, the variable's on the left. So at 3, because it's just greater than, again, it's an open circle, and we're going to shade to the right. That is greater than. Again, it's pointing to the right. It says greater than. The numbers to the right are greater than 3. Here's 4, 5, 6, and so forth. Number 2. Very similar problem, except look what happened. Our variable is now on the opposite side of the inequality. It's on the right instead of the left. So we're going to have to do something at the end. So looking at this, I see that we're subtracting 3n from 5. Again, we want to get the n by itself. So we have to add opposites. The opposite of 5 is -5 to both sides. -4, -5 is -9. Keep the direction of the inequality because we subtracted or we added opposites. We did not multiply or divide. Copy down to -3n. Now, we divide by -3. Here we get 3. Here we get n. We divided by a negative number, flip the inequality. So we have 3 greater than n. Right? But before we graph this, we want to make sure that the variable is on the left-hand side. So let's flip-flop everything. Remember, this is the flip-flop. Put the n on the left, the 3 on the right, and flip-flop. So, at 3, again, it will be an open circle because it's just less than. Less than goes to the left. There are numbers smaller than 3. There's 2, there's 1, there's 0. All these numbers are smaller than 3. So again, in this one, we had to flip-flop this twice. Because we divided by a negative and the variable was on the right-hand side. Number 3, we have 3 parentheses, 2t plus 1 greater than or equal to -15. So, there's something new here. We have parentheses. Remember, that is the first thing we need to get rid of when we're solving equations. So, we need to distribute So the first step, we just get rid of this. We have 6t plus 3 greater than or equal to negative 15. And that's kind of faded. We'll get rid of that marker. Okay. Try the next red marker. See if this one works. Again, we want to solve for t. 6 times t plus 3. Because we're adding or subtracting, we want to add the opposite. Opposite of 3 is a negative 3. Carry down to 6t. We keep the same inequality. Negative 15 and negative 3 is negative 18. Number 3. Divide by 6. T greater than or equal to negative 3. We do not change this because we divided by positive. I don't care that my answer is negative or positive. I just care what I'm multiplying or dividing by. So, we do not have to change the direction when we graph it at negative 3 because it is, so you can see this, because it's greater than or equal to, we're going to put a closed circle on negative 3 and it's greater than. It's pointing to the right. Numbers to the right are greater than numbers to the left, so we shade to the right. And that's our answer. Let's try this one. Number 4. Again, something a little bit different. In all the other ones, we had variables on one side. Here, we have variables on opposite sides. Remember, when variables are on opposite sides, we need to add opposites to collect them together. So, I want to bring this 3x over to the 6x. But because they're on opposite sides, I have to add opposites. Add negative 3x to both sides. There's the first step. 6x minus 3x will be 3x. Carry down to negative 1. And it stays greater than 8. 3x minus 1, we want to add opposites. Still no change in the inequality. We end up with 3x greater than 9. Divide by 3. We get x is greater than 3. Do not have to change any signs or directions. The inequality, when we graph at 3, greater than, open circle. Greater than numbers are greater than to the right. And there's our graph. So again, the solving part's all the review. The greater than, less than signs are all review. Open circles, closed circles, all review. We're just kind of putting it all together right now. 2 more problems. Here's number 5. 10 minus 8a greater than or equal to negative 14. So think about, what are we going to do first on this problem? So again, we want to get the a's by themselves. I have addition or subtraction going on between the constant and the variables. So again, add the opposite. What's the opposite of 10? It is negative 10. Again, I didn't divide or multiply yet, so I keep the direction of the inequality. Negative 14 minus 10 is negative 24. Next step, we have negative 8 times 8, or negative 8 times 8. So divide by negative 8. Now because we divided by negative, switch the direction of the inequality. And again, looks like the magic answer here is 3 for every problem. Negative 24 divided by negative 8 is a positive 3. When we go to graph this, at 3, less than or equal to, closed circle, shade to the left. It's pointing to the left, shade to the left. Finally, number 6. Again, we have addition between where our variable is. So we want to add the opposite. The opposite of plus 8 is minus 8. Carry down the x over 5. We have x over 5 less than or equal to 2. So this is x divided by 5. So the inverse of dividing by 5, we want to multiply both sides by 5. 5's cancel. I multiplied by positive, so I don't have to worry about that rule. Inequality stays the same direction. And we know 2 times 5 is 10. So our answer is x is less than or equal to 10. So at 10, it's going to be a closed circle because it can also be equal to. Numbers less than 10 are going to the right. So there you have 6 good example problems to look at. When you come back to class, we're going to do a couple more. You're going to try to do these on your own. And then you'll have an assignment for tomorrow. Keep these as reference. Remember, open circles compared to closed circles. Remember that if you only multiply or divide, that's when you have to flip this inequality. Have a great day. See you next time.